Hello folks, welcome to this tutorial. This is Data Skills for Everyone, and we are still dealing with CSVs, basic data processing. Learn how to handle structured data with confidence. In this video, we are looking at how to filter records based on a given column. And in our particular case today, we are looking at how to filter data based on the names column. And here is the little background. So the CSV file that we've been working with so far, we downloaded from the learning platform, and it's such that it contains the names of all the people on the platform whose emails match our company's domain. This means that whether a person is enrolled in a course or not, as long as their emails match that of our company's account, their names will appear on the progress report for any course at all that we download. And this is not desirable for us because we have too many names on the sheet that are not enrolled in the particular course. And so what we want to do is that we want to use a means to remove the names of all people who, according to our records, are not taking this particular course. And just as a quick recap, this is the way our CSV file looked like before we started doing the cleaning. And you can see all the names highlighted in yellow. These were not consistent with the proper names that we had here. And by the time we finished, we had something that looked like this. And so this is the current state of our CSV file that we are going to be using to work on today's problem that we have on our hands. But as you can see, there are so many blanks in this table that we do not wish to continue with it like that. And so let me show you the next. You can see I'm applying some filtering to the data, and just to highlight for you what the correct data should look like. If you can see, all these people that have actually enrolled in the course have a started at date here, and some of them have finished, and you can see the percent complete saying that it's 100%. These people have both columns filled with information. But these people, we can clearly see that they are yet to finish, and so their completed ad information is not there. But these places, these people, the start at date is missing, and it is a clear indication that they have not enrolled in this course. The examples of these records are the ones that we want to eliminate. And so by the time we finish, and here I'm still applying some filters in Excel, this is what I want my the remaining records to look like. Okay, so just a few people that are actually enrolled and they are making progress through the course. This is the kind of thing that we want to do in Python. I have been able to do this with a lot of ease in Excel, but let's see how we can do this in Python so that we can automate the whole process. But before we do that, well, I just want us to look at one way that we need to be able to decide who and how to eliminate records from our Excel sheet. And so we need to be able to decide a condition that we'll base on and say we are filtering the records. And in our case, I think that it is very easy to decide who should be removed, whose name should be removed from a particular course sheet based on the track that they are enrolled in. And so, as I said, because we are not using a full LMS, a learning management system, these pieces of information is really hard to track. But fortunately for us, we have people that are taking a combination of courses based on a certain specialized track. And once we have that track information, we can easily determine if the course they are taking is included in their track. And that is the information that we will need to determine whether for a particular progress report that we download, a learner is included or enrolled in that track. And we have that information sitting in a JSON file that we will use later on. In today's video, I won't make use of this, but just to show you quickly how that information is saved, we have this JSON file is simply, just think of it like a Python dictionary. Okay, it's just a data structure with key value pairs. Okay, so two examples here. Just these two entries are the specialized track information that we have, and under each track we have courses. And in order to be able to access one of these courses, you need the course code as we have defined here. And basically this is the way we are going to be using JSON, because we want an easy way to be able to get access to these tracks using keys. I won't spend too much time on this. Later on, as we use them, you would see what value this JSON file carries for us. All right, so without wasting too much time, let's just dig in and begin to see what we have to do today. All right, so here we are in our favorite IDE Spider, and let me quickly go over what we are going to do right now. So we are going to, our big goal is to be able to filter the progress file so that it contains only learners that are enrolled. And these are the present columns, just to help you continue to visualize what we are working on. And as I mentioned, we need this column to help us to come up with a criteria for doing our filtering. And to do that, we're going to perform two steps. The first one, we add the track information, and then we use the track information to determine enrollment. And we have one simple job in today's video to just add one function that we will call add track information. And so our business in the remaining part of the video is to add details, look at the definition for this add track information, and I'll explain a few things to you how this function works. But as usual, let's do some imports and get our environment ready to get started. This is the path to the file that we are going to be using for our analysis. And in this line, I read the data, and then I also need a reference, our names database, which contains the names of all the people that we have in our organization, and then the tracks or the specialization tracks that we have assigned to them. So this will be very, very important for us later on. Okay, so we have some data now. The next thing is for us to define our core function. Alright, so this is our function. Oops, spelling mistake. It's add. Okay, good. So this is our function that we are going to use for the business, and it's going to require the progress data frame itself and then the names data frame. Okay, so just to save time, let me add a few lines of code, and I will come back to explain line for line what each code is doing so that we can save time. Yes, and here I come back with the code nicely added. I have added some flesh to our skeleton function that we defined. Okay, and I have a little documentation here to make it easy for you to understand. In the end, we expect this function to spit out a Pandas data frame with the track information added. So let me go through line by line and show you. So we have this line here that is supposed to get me a variable called the course name. Okay, just so that you see this line in action, I have my progress file. So this progress file is a variable that we already have in memory. Let me show you what the progress file looks like. So this is what it looks like. It's just a path. Okay, and if I call the os.path.split, this is the outcome that you're gonna get. This is what you get. So this os.path.split will take this as input, os.path.base name. Let me show you also that the outcome of that function. So basically, when you have a path to any resource, the base name function would return the last part of the path for you, which is the name and the extension of the actual file that you're looking at, and would discard the remaining pieces of information that would help you to identify or locate the file. And so this is what I'm getting with the combination of these two functions. I can have this, and what I want to do is I just want to get the name of the file without the extension, and that is what this split text function is doing. So combining those two pieces of information, I can have the course name as the first item in the tuple that I get. So that is done, and the reason I'm doing that is as follows. I want to be able to save the output of the processing that I have done to the exact file name that I read in from disk. Okay, so later on we would see the importance of this, but for now let me just explain to you what this line is doing. The next thing is I want to find a way that I can easily map the track information that I have from the names data frame into the progress data frame. Okay, so basically this is how it works. This line, I want the output to be a dictionary. And so this part is where I make reference to my names data frame, and you can already see that the names data frame is like this. So this is how the names data frame looks like. There is a name, there is an email, and there is a track information. Very, very simple. What I'm doing in this line here is to access the name and the track information. And then this on top of it here would give me, instead of getting a pandas data frame from this portion, I'm just going to get an array from this. And putting it into the dictionary, I'm just going to get a dictionary where the names are the keys and the track information are the values. Okay, so you want to see that in action. Let me just run that line so that you see the output. Excellent. So this is what we are getting, and you can see that it's a dictionary. The names are the keys and the track information, and the track information differs for different names or records that we have. Okay, so that is what this line is doing, and that is working nicely. The next thing is that I want to combine this dictionary here with a pandas method map that allows me to, and let me just show you the documentation. There should be documentation for this. Okay, so this map method allows you to do a correspondence mapping. So I'm selecting the names column in the progress data frame, and what would happen is that anytime the name in a row matches the name in this dictionary keys, I will get the result being the value that is in this dictionary. Okay, so the output would be the value. So this mapping is such that I want the name here to match the name in the dictionary that I have here, and when that happens correctly, it will spit out the value. Okay, so that is what this map method here is doing. So nicely, I can create a new column with the track information for each record. And then finally, I have this line here that this course name is a constant. That is the information that I derived here, and assigning the same course name information for each record. And this is very simple. So in the naming convention that we have right now, the files are named such that each file is actually, this is how it is named. Okay, and so the course name information is not included in the file itself. Only the file name is named according to the course. But now because I want to change the way we are working, I want the course name to be saved in the file itself, and this is how I get that result. And so basically in 4 lines of code, we have finished what we want to do for today. And so let's put everything together, run this code, and see whether we get the outcome that we want. nicely. Okay, so this is working very nicely now. So we have new this new track column created for us, and the course column also created for us. So all that we need to do now is to find a way to save. All right, so you can see that now we have our output saved in a CSV file, and this is it. Now, for now, I'm not following proper convention in terms of naming the files, but in future videos, because we're going to automate it, now we are going to use a proper way to automatically generate these output files so that we know by what names they are going to be saved and which locations. But this would generally be a plan that I'll be following so that we can construct the output file name, and then we can save it to the data folder where we have all the data stored. And so basically we have been able to do our job, and we can see this file in Excel. And so this is the edited file in Excel, and when you open it, you can see that we have a nice track information added for each record, and then we also have the course name also in the file itself. So this is our goal, and we have been able to achieve it. Of course, in future, I want to make sure that this name here doesn't matter, but later on, the reason we are doing this is so that we can have one big file containing all of the progress data files that we download, and the reason is so that we will be able to have one dashboard that can visualize all of this nice and easily for us. And so basically that is everything that we have for today. We have been able to cover up everything that we needed to do. In our next video, we are going to look at how to add one more piece of information, which would be a new column that would add to the Excel sheet that we've generated so far, and that would be whether a person is enrolled in this course or not. And I'll show you how we will come up with that criteria and write code that would generate it for us. It would be a few steps more difficult than what we have done, but we are making progress. And so folks, if you want to see how that works, then stay tuned for more. I'll see you later. Goodbye.